he wanted to go fucking race.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Okay.
I left here. My windows were broken.
We can check
My
the
tail
books.
lights were all fucked.
All right.
Yeah.
Should we check Hutch?
Yeah, let's go.
Let me
down,
give me 1 second.
dummy.
Let me go and check.
Anyone else here?
What is it?
Do you want anyone else here for this conversation?
No, it's fine. It's just, I mean, I got a call from a fucking M racer. And he basically wants to talk with Titanium, myself, and whoever else, probably Red Devil, about what we expect from the racing scene from the M class and how they don't know what rules they can enforce and whatever. I've heard racers from the M class like putting a speed limiter, like people had that they couldn't go above a certain speed and all kinds of weird shit. But this guy just called me and wants to know what rules he can and cannot enforce. I told him I'd talk to you. That's all. I know I'm busy. I know you're busy. I don't understand this fucking phone call whatsoever.
I think they should just get someone to. They should pick a leader for that shit. I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah, someone needs to take charge of that because we can't really manage that. I mean,
yeah, and I'm so tired of getting asked questions about shit like, hey, what the B class? Well, I don't fucking race B class. Oh, the M class. I don't race M class.
Hi, Judd.
Yo, what up, homie?
Judd, we're having a conversation.
Well, I want to ask you something.
I know everything about B class. That's what I race in.
We're not talking about B's right now, but go ahead.
I was gonna mention bees.
All right, go ahead.
Because we had Phantom down here earlier, and there was a shit ton of people. We were having a big conversation with Tony, with Mary, Tommy, Vinny, because Vinny.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. Can we get somebody to add radios to the books? I can't sell one to some guy. I don't know how we add it. Are we adding it on the admin shit?
Yeah, let me do it. Yeah, go. You go on admin.
Thank you. Yeah, and then just add them on, right?
Yeah, the item section.
All right, I'll do it. All right, thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, because Phantom was running in B races, and then Vinny told him not to do it because he was winning a lot. And now a lot of people have Phantom and Orange's back saying that, you know, that anyone should be able to race in B. And we're just trying to come to a conclusion as to like what we should do about it. Should we just let everyone race in B?
Well, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, and this might sound a little fucked up, but when the fuck did we start taking orders from them? Now, I agree if they have everyone coming and backing them or whatever, but if we say something, those motherfuckers, the last thing they should be doing is getting a rally of 10 other racers behind them and being like, we believe that this is not the thing that should happen. Fuck that motherfucker. You don't like it, leave. Now, do I think that they should be banned? Of course, I think we should find a solution. But if you introduce something into the racing scene and then there's people like, well, we don't like it, so we're gonna go and get 5 of our friends and then we're gonna question you all together, I think that's bullshit. No one should be undermining you, period. Personally, that's my opinion.
Well,
Yeah,
here's what I've been saying. Okay, is in the B races are there for people to get better. That they learn the tracks. Learning the tracks is really hard because, you know, if you spend most of your time looking at your GPS, you're not looking at what's in fucking front of you, right? So people learning the tracks, they're learning the lines. You know, most of them I used to raid in B. They let me because I suck. You know, but most of my races I don't even finish. My goal is to finish the race, right? And when I got these motherfuckers coming from A, and they're literally first place in 10 races straight. Here's the thing: if you want to come get in 1 or 2 races and have fun in your B car, that's one thing. But to sit there all fucking day and run Jet Sam all fucking day, you're not doing it to have fun and chill out. You're doing it to farm the fuck out of that scene because it's easier than the A scene. Because most of the people in that scene, they either don't finish the race or they're really far behind, you know, with their smoking cars because they're trying and they're having fun. And you got these same people over and over ruining it. You know, you have a couple people that do really decent in the race, but they're not good enough to go into A, but they're getting there. And that's the point. And eventually they will be good enough to get there.
Yeah. And a few people were saying, you know, that The big guys should be able to race in B, and you know you need to race in. You need to be racing to get your contracts and all this jazz. So that's why some of the good people could be justified racing and getting first a lot, but I don't really agree with that. And Phantom, who, I mean, was the one that kind of sparked this conversation. I don't think he's got a bad bone in his body. But at the same time, when you go into these races, you need to think about the guys that are running B and why they're running B and how you could affect those guys running it, right? With you being an
100%.
experienced racer. That's the
Here's
way
my
I
thing.
see it. And
Here's my thing. I truly believe this. The people who disagree with it don't have, I don't want to say they don't have the spine, but they don't have the connections, nor are they confident enough to be able to walk up to us and say, hey, I don't like what's going on, blah, blah, blah. People who can, right? The people who race A+, they know us personally, they know of us. They are the ones who will come to us and they will complain about it. So to have 5 racers or however many people backed him up, I guarantee you there's 50 other motherfuckers who just don't come over here, who just don't want to. And for 5 people or 2 people, for example, to have fun, we're sacrificing 50 people who just don't have the testicular fortitude to come and say something, but they 100% look at the race list like, bro, I even know Charles. Charles, if he sees fucking a rat in an A race, he doesn't even want to go race it because he knows that motherfucker is just not even worth racing against. I guarantee you there's other people in the B scene that's going to do the same thing. They're going to see Orange. They're going to see fucking Phantom. They're going to see their names in the app, and they're going to go, fuck that. I'm not racing in that race. Fuck that.
So what Tommy did was he went to a B race and he asked them all, do you mind if Orange is in your races? And apparently they all didn't mind. And he pulled them aside as well, you know, just in case they didn't want to stay in a big group. And apparently they said the same thing. Now, here's what I'm thinking is because we're not present in the B scene, right? They probably look up to these guys, and they're kind of swayed by whatever kind of opinions they might have, and they cry wolf. They cry wolf to these guys, you know.
You know, as much as they don't mind
can picture in
Orange
my
like
head.
being in the races, they sure do bitch about his car after every single race, and they bitch about him after every single race. But they do shit passive aggressively. Like they'll say shit like this, like even with me, like I'm in my rating and I'll come like 8th place. They'll go, "Hey Judd," I'm like, "Hey, what's up, brother?" I'm like, "Man, look, you know the rating's banned, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, but you know I suck. I can't 8th place, man. What do you mean? I never win." Yeah, I mean I don't really care, but you know, it's not fair to everyone else. You know, blah 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 blah. I don't really care, but so what they'll do is they'll give the impression that they don't mind, but they do.
And I guarantee you that they saw Tommy. Tommy walked up to him. They didn't want to go behind Orange's back. They don't want to burn bridges. They know how this city works. They know who Tommy is. They know if they sit there and say, Orange, yeah, you're cool to race here, and then Tommy comes up to him, they're like, well, you know, I don't know if Orange is cool to race here. They know that they're just contradicting themselves, and then they're gonna get either fucking they're just gonna lose connections or whatever. I guarantee you these guys who are even saying that they're cool with it aren't cool with it. They just don't want to nut up and say that this is bullshit because they don't want the repercussions if there are any, which there isn't.
It also depends on which group you get, because there's not just one group of B racers. There's different time zones of them. Like I got some time zones that give me a harder time than others.
I'm thinking I might just go undercover into some B races, you know, just have another alias, different outfit, different car, and just see what it's like and just experience it firsthand without, you know.
I think personally, if B races is what we all see it as, this is a ladder. I do not think that B races should be given, or it should give the same amount of G&E as an A+ race. Because as Orange stated, whenever he talked to me, there's no cops show up. It's relaxed.
One suggestion was, because we don't want to fuck the people that do genuine race B, and that's all they want to race, right? So if like the G&E is cut a bit, so it's not as profitable for the guys that would normally run A, and then those top dogs, if they want to, they can donate their G&E to everyone else. So if it's really just about the racing and not about farming them for their G&E, then they can do that. You know what
exactly. I mean? Yeah, and like in that same argument, it's like if you're doing it for the racing, you're doing it to chill. I get it. But in A, whenever I bring out my Vince Scratch car, dude, that Italia's worth fucking over probably $700,000, and it's not even in the city. Like PDM doesn't sell it, no one sells it. If I get caught, I lose a lot of fucking money. But if you're racing your B that isn't upgraded, that doesn't have anything externally put on it, you didn't spend even a quarter of the G&E I spent, but you're still getting the same amount of wins or winning G&E, same amount of cash or whatever, for literally no risk. I'm sorry, but if I wasn't who I was in the racing scene, I go down there and fucking race that shit too. There's no risk and there's all reward. Orange had the Itali GT. He wouldn't even race it because he didn't want to lose it, which is why he sold it to me. I'm telling you, the reason why people are racing Bs and not A's is because you don't need a good car. You don't need to fucking risk anything. Cops don't show up, so it's literally you're going down there to race.
Yeah,
with
it's just
no
free money.
repercussions. Exactly, and that's fucked.
I think that
Eddie,
like,
you remember the days where we would plead and hope for cops to show up. My cousin used to call 911 on every race, and they still wouldn't show up maybe once. And
well,
now
they pull
people
interceptors
are upset
on us
about
all
them.
the time in Bs, but I don't know. I think that punishes the people that are actually there to learn and upgrade their car and all that.
It doesn't, but that's the thing. It doesn't, because you're not risking anything, Judd. Whenever you come to A and you're risking a $400,000 car that is all souped up, that you had to run away from cops in and hack 10 fucking hacks and do all this other bullshit.
Yeah, well, so when you're making the same G&E as an A racer, it's kind of problematic. It's kind of like boosting, right? If you boost a B, there's a less chance of cops turning up.
No hack, drive from point A to point B, takes you 6 minutes.
But whenever you're in the B scene and you're just getting started and you only have 50 G&E to your name, and you do lose that B scratch or whatever you're using, or if you put some upgrades in it, that is a lot to you.
Yeah, it's a lot to you, but when the A races pay out the same and then the A cars cost more, right?
There's no reason for you to move up. There isn't. If everything is the same at B, there's just no risk tied. That's like saying my owner who risks all his money opening this business, I'm the chef, I should get paid as much as the owner does. No, the owner is the one who's risking the produce. He's risking if one day no one shows up to eat at my restaurant, I lose millions. The chef, he loses his job, but he's not losing any big money. That's literally the same thing. Someone's risking a lot to someone's risking little. The little shouldn't get paid the same amount as the one who's risking everything. It just doesn't make sense. It's just
I wasn't thinking about this decreasing the base MK. I was thinking about just halving the full payout in total.
They're never going.
Not halving the base.
Because you got those same 3 or 4 people who you see first place every single time. There's a reason why you don't see Eugene, Buddha, Rami, all these people that used to race. There's a reason why you don't see them race anymore. Because why would you pay money, risk your car, all right, put G&E on the line and all that when you know you have no chance of winning? And then you can practice all you fucking want. But some of these guys got 5 years of experience doing this shit. You know, it would be like me, practicing for 6 months, then going in a map with Simple and wondering why he's still fucking taking my head off.
Again, I understand what you're saying, but it all comes down to risk and reward. In the B scene, you're risking nothing and you're getting all the.
And in the A, if you race in the A against those people, there is no reward and nothing but risk. So whenever you're moving to A, that's a completely different conversation. That's just called competition. Listen, man, I wish I would have been the best, but I wasn't. So guess what? I lost my fucking job. It's just the way that it is. You just got to keep practicing. Trust me, whenever I came back, I couldn't even finish a race, and now I'm placing in the top. I can't beat Goofy or any. And you're never going to. And you're never going to.
But that's the thing. I enjoy racing. I want to be here because I race and I enjoy driving my car and I enjoy driving around and getting chased by cops.
Yeah, I barely get to race, so when I do race, I want to have a good time,
Obviously, we want to win, but if I don't win, I don't give a fuck.
Right? At some point, a lot of people, and it's great that you have that mentality. But at some point, a lot of people don't enjoy getting their fucking dick pushed in over and over and over and over by the same people over and over and over.
Well, then there's nothing keeping them from having private races. There's nothing keeping them from hosting a race and telling those guys that they cannot come. We've said that 100,000 times. I know me and Eddie have both said that. If you're hosting a race, you don't want people racing, don't let them race. Just tell them no. Be like, hey, this is a private race, or hey, we just don't want you here. That's fine. Go do that. Host your own races and be the top dog who runs it. But at the end of the day, people who are good should not be penalized because they are good. Us not letting them in the B scene, or, you know, in quotations, not letting them race in the B scene, you just saw all the B scene people stood up for them, quote unquote. And then we're sitting here trying to help people, and then the people are like, well, we enjoy it. And then a week later, they're like, well, I don't want to get farmed anymore. It's like, what the fuck do you want, you pussy bitch? Just tell us.
Yeah,
We
I mean,
can't help you
I
if you
went
don't
off
tell
on the
us.
B people the other day because they were giving me a hard time at the rating. They were like, look, Judd, you can do this one race, but no more, or all this. And I said, what, am I DNFing too much? And they're like, no. I said, listen here, you fucking generic looking motherfuckers. I said, I've talked to 6 of you motherfuckers the past week, and I don't even know who you are or what your name is, and I couldn't tell you motherfuckers apart. Because I'll be honest, you all look the same, you all sound the same, you all act the same. All right? There's nothing special about you or your fucking personality. And I'll be honest, I was a little harsh on them.
Well, it's, again, man, I could give 2 fucks about any of that. I just want people to
Well,
be
I know
actually...
you can give 2 fucks about that, but I care a lot about that.
But what I'm trying to say is I care more about people telling me something and standing behind what they tell me. I have fucking, one day I have 20 people calling me, telling me, oh, I don't like the way this is going. I don't like these people in the race. Then I have Eddie telling me that now they're cool with it. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah,
it's
like
honestly just
I'm at the
pissing me
point
off.
where I want to just host midnight only races, but I just don't think it's fair for the little guys. Like, but if we
I
abandon
agree.
looking out for those guys, like, who's gonna look out for them? Just gonna get.
I also feel like separating some way, boosting from the racing will solve a lot of stuff too.
What do you mean?
There's a lot of people that are just there farming people for boosting.
I think that's stupid because boosting is for racing. The only reason boosting's in the city is literally for racing. And the premise of, back in the day, I couldn't even get a fucking car to race in. I had to beg Eddie to get me a car from the tuner shop after someone got theirs repoed. But now with boosting,
And
you
I
can
get
get
that.
whatever car you want.
I get that, right? I get that. But that doesn't necessarily. I'll give you an example, right? You know, you need a gun to rob a bank, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the gun trade and the bank system coincide with each other, right?
Makes a good point.
And I think that has a lot to do with the G&E problem in the city too, is whenever everyone's G&E hungry, and you have G&E from boosting, and then you have G&E from racing, and those get intertwined with each other. It's causing the G&E to be more profitable than any other job in the city. Nobody gives a fuck about anything else.
Well,
Nobody's gonna work any type of. Nobody's
again,
gonna go
that's
deliver
all
trash.
relevant. That's all relevant. I guarantee you, once everyone gets their tuner cars and when everyone gets taken care of and everyone gets what they want, G&E's gonna. G&E's already dropping in price. It was $300 last week, and people won't pay above $250 now. It's gonna go. It's gonna level out. It just takes time for that to happen. That's anything in the city. The moment anything new comes in the city, and it's any type of progression, people speed run that shit, and they want to get from the 0 to 100 as fast as fucking possible. I understand what you're saying, but us.
For upgrades.
But that doesn't do it. That's completely different than what you're saying about boosting. You don't need boosting for upgrades. Are you saying about like doing a boost contract for more G&E?
The thing is, you can get contracts,
doesn't
but
make
you
sense
get the
either
better
because
contracts
racing
from
gets the
racing.
boost contracts.
I think if you separate them, like get them, because they're too intertwined with each other, and boosting is really, really big right now in the city, and racing is really.
Yeah, I think
really
the issue
big
was
right now
though
in the
was
city.
boosting was killing racing.
Agreed.
So I think
I don't
now-
think that people should be given a boost. I listen,
Combining them right now, you're killing the economy.
but I think it's so fucking stupid. Why the fuck should people be given these great, cool fucking cars to boost into Vince?
thing is, it's not killing
just
the
sit in their
economy
garage
though.
and they never take them out to race in.
The
I can
G&E,
name
the
5
limited
people with 5
G&E
cars that are all super fucking cool and exotic.
only
that
have
don't even race
value
them, when
with
boosting
what
is
we
for
people
racing.
are willing
Boosting
to
isn't for
spend.
people to just go and do it. Boosting is
So
for
it's-
people who are racing to be
Well,
able
I mean,
to
no,
telling
boosting
of
isn't
what we
necessarily for
generate
racing, it's just
elsewhere
racing, right?
for what people are
You
willing
know,
to spend on
how
G&E from,
annoying
you know,
have you
money
got when
generated
people
from
would take
banks,
their
from jobs.
personally owned
Does that make
tuned-up
sense?
car to a bank job? Now that doesn't have to be a thing. You can take your VIN scratch there. That way, if you lose it, It's not that big
to
of a
get that
deal,
G&E
and
currency, if
people
it's
aren't
not
taking
from
it, and you
racing,
can
it's to be
still get some
purchased
speed
by
and get
another
away.
currency.
And then the
People aren't
puppet
taking
the
it.
master
value-
calls me, and I have to chop their fucking heads off.
And then the value of that
Boosting
of
is
the dollar
100% for racing.
currency
Vin scratching
is
100%
less
for
because it's
racing.
more
Vin
inflated
scratching isn't to go and take them and
compared
use
to
them in
G&E,
bank
where
jobs.
it's
for
not as
racing.
inflated.
I've talked to the master himself.
people
That is
need
what it's
it.
for.
That makes
It's
sense?
not for going to bank
We
jobs
don't
and
actually
using fucking cars
generate
for bank jobs.
any
Although
money
it
from
happens, I
G&E
know
other
that
than
it happens,
$50 per,
It
but
should
that's
be
not what it's
happening.
for.
Which
You
is
should
no
definitely
more
use
than
that
any other
instead of your
standard
own
job.
fucking car or a local.
So it's
'Cause
only
let's be
money
honest,
changing
in a local
hands.
car,
It's
you're
not
gonna
money
get
being
away from an
generated and
interceptor unless
inflating
you're
the
God,
economy.
right? So you
If
need some type
anything, the
of power
G&E
to
sync
even
from
have
the
a
shop
chance.
cleans the
And
economy up.
I'll be honest,
Make
rubbing
sense?
a bank in your own vehicle, that's fucking stupid.
It
'Cause
might
you're just
look
gonna
like a
get
shit
scratched
show
on
right
it.
now with
But that's the dumbest thing ever is
the
to ever
G&E
rob a bank in your own
starvation and
vehicle.
everyone trying
Then
to
scratch. That's what it's for. That
trying
was
to
the
get money
door. That
for
was the
G&E.
hey. Here's
it
your
might be
option
causing like a
now.
bottleneck in a progression of the economy, so
just
to
Food for
speak.
thought. I don't know. Just
But
food for thought.
it will help in the long run reduce inflation, hopefully.
I mean, that's why you can take a local car, you can bring it down to the shop at the docks, and they can throw disposable parts on it. Then you have an upgraded local car. I mean, at what point do we draw the line? Like, at what point do we not use exotic cars? Period.
said doo-doo.
Like,
I mean, what's the worst that's gonna happen? You get caught and then they crash the car. Okay, good. There you go. The car's gone.
yes, but how demoralizing would it be for a police officer to roll up to a bank job, and every single bank job that they roll up to, there's a four-door fucking Schwarzer or a Neon or a fucking
They already
exotic
did.
fully boosted car right there? No, no, bro. There is plenty
Except it
of
was just
fucking
personally
jobs.
owned.
There's plenty of cars and jobs that people are rolling up to that is fucking not exotic sports
Fucking
cars, man.
just do it.
I think that is a bad road to go down.
Like,
I 100% do.
I was doing that.
The thing, well, that's the whole thing about if you get an exotic sports car, you have to pay for it once you get your car impounded, right? Like it's.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the fees are kind of low, to be honest. If you've got a $1.6 million car, or 2 million, 3 million, whatever, and you only have to pay like $5,000 when you get it out after two incidents, it's not really much.
I mean, if you have a $1.6 million car, why the fuck are you doing bank jobs in that car?
True. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you get it impounded, you don't pay your asset fees as well, then you can't get it back until you pay those asset fees.
Whenever, I was doing a job with the boys yesterday, and I had a B scratch Camacho, the big ass tank truck thing, and we were gonna do a 2-car setup, and I'm like, bro, I'll just take the Camacho. It's just a B scratch, right? We'll use that to get to the 2 doors. We'll leave the son of a bitch. They can scrap it. I don't care, right? Not that big of a deal. And then we'll get the 2 doors.
Yeah, I mean,
That
a
way,
B
at least-
scratch is like 1 or 2 races, right? So even
Yeah.
though the value of Genie is high, the actual effort it takes to get a car like that isn't a lot.
Not a lot at all.
And it gets used. It'll get disposed of.
Yeah.
That shit should be used more. People shouldn't be using their own vehicles.
I disagree, man. I do not. Now this is coming. I think.
Give the gods a purpose.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's
Partner
because
them up with new people.
I don't know.
Have
I
them train
just
new
do not
racers.
think that boosting
Maybe even make
should
them
be
split their
a
nut with newer
car
people.
market of, hey, let's get as many cars, as many 4-doors, as many cars as we can for bank jobs, and then every single time a cop gets in a chase, they're going to go against exotic sports cars that are fucking low amounts of G&E because people just want to use the fastest and the best car for every single job that they possibly do. I think that's stupid. I think that is why disposable parts are in the city. That is why we have 4 doors as locals. That is why the local
Well, let
cars
me
are
ask you this.
actually
I mean,
good.
to be fair though, they are still a A+, right? So the
Yeah.
cops can still combat them, whatever car that
No
is.
problem. No problem. Yeah. But let me ask you this: if your vision is to have them taking out the racing, which that can still happen, by the way. You can do both. How many people actually get caught racing?
Not a lot.
Not
It's quite
very
low
often.
risk.
So you're gonna have all these cars sitting in these garages, never getting taken, and they're only
Well,
being used in the
there's-
racing.
I think Vin Scratchers being used for jobs isn't a bad thing, unless it's like
Ah,
S-class. But I imagine they'll be
But now
very
these
fucking
people
rare.
that do jobs, they gotta race to get the contracts, to get the scratches, to use them for the jobs. Because some people that rob banks aren't interested in racing.
so are you
I mean, at the end of the day, though, as well, that you can use the races as a connect for those cars, which is what their warehouse is, right?
Agreed. And that's literally what, yes.
Good.
I feel like with everything that's going on right now, I feel like the last thing that would be beneficial
I like it, Marcus.
is
It's a
for
great car.
someone to
I'll
be
put your
sitting
name
a
on it,
burger
okay?
shot, flipping burgers,
Yeah, I'll
and
put
then
your
they
name
get a fucking S-Class sports car in their scratches, and then someone who races every single day and has been wanting that car, they get passed up by that contract by Miss Samantha sitting or Mr. Sam sitting in there flipping burgers for 10 hours and is just sitting there signed into the app. I don't think that that's a good idea.
And, you know, also I'll put it like this, right? And I get Hutch, you love racing and you love boosting, right? But at the end of the day, some people really enjoy boosting and really hate racing, but they love to boost.
Yeah, I understand that.
And taking that away from them and forcing them to do something they hate doing.
But
I
you're
mean,
not taking that
the
away
way
from
it
them,
is
they're
though,
just
with so
getting
much racing going
other
on, is the
contracts.
races are supposed to be a connect with a contract. So the people that just want to race and they get the contract, they can sell it on.
But they
People that
don't
need
do
it.
that. They
been.
take,
Yes, they
take
do.
their shit
Yes,
and-
they do.
Well,
Like,
that's
so
why we
that's
should
what
maybe
you
get the
do.
marketplace back now that, you know, you get them from racing. Because
100%.
before it was
If there
like
was
people
a
would sit
way-
in the queue and then put them up there because they would just hog the queue. Now you have to
Well,
actually
and
earn
that's
them,
what
and if
we
you're
were
not going to
gonna
do them, you
do-
may as well sell them, right?
No, but
Agreed.
here's the
That's
thing.
what
This
we were
is what
gonna
they do, though.
on
Here-
the one second, Joe. That's what we were gonna do on the Ho app. Was that there was gonna be a section like a bounty board to where if you don't want your contracts, you can just put them up for a G&E price. But again, the problem you're gonna run into is people are just greedy little fucking bastards.
Yeah, that's
and they're
exactly
gonna
what
put
I'm
it up
saying.
For too much.
I don't think
So if
everyone's
you put
willing to
up-
boost though the races.
So here's the thing, like
I don't
whenever I
either.
boost, you know, I want to boost for a profit. You know what I mean? I'm not interested in scratching most of the time. I'm interested in just doing the boost. You know, that I like doing the hacking, and I have my driver, and I do it, and I drop the car off, and that's it. It's all said and done. But if I gotta pay somebody for that contract, they're gonna put that contract up with the intention of somebody scratching it, which means that I'm about to pay exactly what
not
I would get.
necessarily. Maybe there could be a ceiling to how much they can charge because
Well,
people
and
were.
that's what I'm saying.
That was the
Because-
issue last time is people
Here's the
were.
thing.
You can only put it up for a max amount of blank G&E. and
If
then
I get caught
pays.
boosting, I lose the hacking tool. That's 200 G&E. I lose the tracker. That's 50 G&E. I lose my dongle. That's the money right there. And then I go to jail and I got to pay for the fines, right? And if I'm only making a fucking little margin of profit off that boost because I had to buy it, then it would be pointless for me to do other than having fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to buy, like, I think the margin wouldn't be huge though, you know. It would just be like
That
a
doesn't
little
even
bonus.
that doesn't even count the rep I lose, right? It's a like, you know, boosting.
Right, but I'm saying if it's
here's
like
the
if
thing.
it's like an A boost, then you know and it's like a buy of 100. Maybe they can sell it for a max of like, I don't know, 30 or 40 or something like that, and you still make over 100 profit.
Well, I gotta pay 100 to do the boost, and then I'm only gonna get 50 G&E back. So it's gonna get 150 back, right? So if I paid 40 G&E for the boost, that means I made 10 G&E,
Wait, what?
and I risked all that shit to do it.
What do you want? You want to risk that shit to get 500 G&E for one contract?
Yeah, but the chance of you losing the
How many
all
times?
those tools
I got a
in
question,
every
Judd.
single
How many
boost
times
is
have you
pretty low,
gotten
right?
caught? How many times have you gotten caught boosting, Judd?
4 times.
How many times have you gotten caught boosting the last month?
4 times.
When the fuck did you get caught boosting? 4 times.
With Charles, with Vinny, with Charles twice.
How
Vinny,
many
and then
contracts
Mr.
have you
K.
done, do you think, in the last month?
I've done quite a bit.
How many? Like, rough estimate.
But then again, I am very, very, very good at hacking, and I go at very, very
I
good
understand that, but I'm
drivers.
just asking you like a number, because trust me, there's plenty of people who are really, really good at hacking. Now I know you're really fucking good. I do contracts with you. I just want to know a guesstimate on how many times you've done a boost contract in the last month.
Well,
50?
It's a
Yeah,
team
it's-
effort as well, though, right? So yeah, you might not be racing,
100%.
but I'm sure you'll know someone that, like, you're friends with Charles and Hutch.
Yeah, he does.
When
it
they're
with me
racing,
and
you get
him all the
contracts. They're
time.
gonna do them with you, you know.
Agreed.
Well, they're kind of, they don't come in very often, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but in total, the amount of contracts that go out now is a lot less as well.
And then, like,
When they're
let's say,
$100,000 cars, I don't think we should be getting
and,
contracts
and,
every
and
5
I'll give
minutes.
you an example with that. Let's say Charles gets a contract for a day, okay? And we've been waiting for 3 hours, and he got one. We go and do it. He puts down 100 G&E to do it. We do it. He gets 50 G&E back plus the 100. I don't get none of that G&E. And if he split it with me, that wouldn't make it worth it at all. You gotta remember, but boosting is the
So
most
what are you
punishing.
saying, Judd? Do you want more G&E for your boosts?
No, I just don't want to race for it.
I see his point.
I've already said my piece on that. Or I think we're just kind of running around in circles.
I want them separated, man. Because at the end of the day, there's plenty of people I've talked to that want to boost,
so what
but
do you
they
get
don't
for
want to
G&E?
race.
What do you get for G&E? Let me ask you that. What do you get for G&E?
What do you mean?
What G&E? What is G&E used for?
What do I use it for?
No. What is G&E used for?
Use it for upgrades.
Which
Plus
is
the
on
gatekeep.
what cars? What do you
No,
need
I
upgrades
mean,
for?
it's the thing as
My
well,
point
right?
is
It's like
this,
it's
Judd.
like the RP of how do you
buy
get
cars with
contracts.
G&E
Like
that are
you
used to
you
be
need a
race cars,
racer.
not to be exotic sports cars that
You
just
don't
drive
have
around the
to
city.
necessarily
Use
race
the
yourself,
G&E to upgrade
but
your cars
if
to be
you
able to
race
in,
enough,
to upgrade
then
your
you
vehicles
can
to
be the
race in
connect
races.
for those
Use
contracts
G&E.
from
Everything
racing
G&E
and
is used for
extend the
is
role play
racing.
for the
So
racers
to take
that are
something
racing
like
to
boosting,
separate
which
it
is
a bit. You know?
primarily G&E,
The way I see it.
all G&E, and G&E is used for racing or to upgrade vehicles to race in, why the fuck would those be separated?
What I'm saying is maybe boosting should use G&E.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Oh god. Yeah, I see
I
your
mean,
point.
look, it's all fun and games if you race and you boost and you love racing. But I'll be honest with you, I can give you a handful of people off the top of my head who have been in this city a long ass fucking time that don't want to race because they don't want to race with all those people out there that are crushing them every day. It's boring for them. It's bad content for them. They don't want anything to do with it. They hate it and they want to boost because it's fun and they want to enjoy themselves and they can't fucking do it because they're forced to fucking race. And that's not good for anyone. And I get you want to put them together for the blah, blah, blah racing scene. But the whole point is for people to come here and goddamn enjoy themselves. And motherfuckers aren't enjoying themselves because people are so hell bent on wanting to have those things together.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Just food for thought.
Yeah.
I just want to hack.
I mean, yeah, I get ya. I think even with thing is alright with the limited contracts, I think you'd still wouldn't get as many anyway, right? So it's like, how do you choose who gets one without the racing?
That's true.
So that at least gives you something where you could get people on it to get you a contract, and then you go ahead with it.
Is there a way so the boosts have like a ranking system?
You mean like the most successful people?
Yeah. They get like dibs on some of the things where, you know, if you've lost a boost, you lose ranking points.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a
you gain
reputation
them.
system there, right? But then again,
Right.
it will end up kind of people that are trying. It's the same thing with the racing, right? That the people that are trying to get up there, they will get stuck in this rut where they're fucked. And how do they bolster their reputation to then get those
Yeah,
contracts
sure.
again? It's a tough one to figure out, right? I mean, it's like if we give
Yeah.
everyone the same pool, and it's overwhelming for the police, or we give a way to do it that's not tied to boosting, so that you know you make an effort to get those contracts.
I don't know, man. It's a sticky situation.
Yeah,
Maybe-
like I
maybe
I
if
would race, but I wouldn't boost because the boosting's too high risk for me.
It is.
So-
It's very, very punishing. Very punishing.
Yeah, so I would. I mean, if I get contracts, I would hand them off. I'm probably one of the few that might do that. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the people that race just aren't interested in boosting as well. They just love to race. So if there was a market there where they could put a cap on it and just get a little bit of G&E back, you wanted to boost, you could just grab one, you know?
Maybe if
Maybe we could
if
trial that and
somebody
see-
was like,
see who-
guaranteed.
What's that, sorry?
Maybe maybe like if somebody is, for example, you wake up every tsunami, you're guaranteed like either an A plus or an M plus or an M if you're in that bracket. Right?
Yeah,
It's
but
kinda-
then again,
kinda
you
get
got to
it from
think of
there.
how many people could be on A+. If there's like 30 people, and how many is that going to be an hour?
But once they get it, that's it. It's over, right?
Huh. Right, but if you have 30 A plus boosts going off,
But they're not
a
all be at the
tsunami.
same time, right?
yeah,
Oh, 'cause
but
it's at
it
the tsunami.
was the police. Yeah, I
What
mean,
if they gave it to them slowly? Or what if you had a cooldown of how many A plus can be happening at a time? So like, if somebody's
right,
doing
but then
A plus,
everyone kind of spams the start contract button.
yeah, and then whoever gets it gets it.
I think there's a bad history in the city with that though. I don't think people like that.
Yeah. Why does
It's like the house robbery stuff. You just gotta keep your phone up and keep spamming it, and then.
Why does everybody get a fucking min max everything, man?
Yeah, well, tell me.
You know, I'll be honest. There's a lot of people right now in the boosting and racing scene that have no character in themselves, except for I'm a racer and I want a fast car.
Yeah. All right.
Cause I told these motherfuckers, I pointed at them. I said, look, I said, if you asked me to say, give you a trait about yourself right now, I couldn't fucking tell you one. That's not good.
Okay. Yeah. I don't want to run my mouth too much, but yeah, I get your point, Judd. And, you know, I think you should definitely be able to boost.
I'm pretty vocal.
Yeah, you should be able to boost, and I think we just need to find a way where you're able to grab them either through your connections, or there's a way where I don't know. It's a difficult one.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Because then you could add ways where the people that are putting the effort into boosting will get priority, but then it's gatekeeping for the other guys, and you know.
What if boosting was something you had to be invited to?
Is there anything wrong? I'll double check. Right.
Yeah, I guess, but then everyone wants an invite, right? And then who do you decide?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. There's a lot of people boosting that probably shouldn't have any part in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with racing. Some shit has come along to racing, a lot of shit has come along to boosting.
Too many people, right?
Yep. Yep. Well, we can try all different things, but
Oh my God, it's Hayes.
Yeah.
Wow, convenient.
I think we
right?
should try
Just
the
talked about
contracts
contracts
thing.
here to mail it
you
out.
know, the contract selling with caps, and
Yeah.
then see how that goes, and see if people are willing to put them up. You know.
Right, so he's gonna mold
If you
it.
can make it where whatever the person paid for, that gets reimbursed if you finish the contract.
Not yet. I wouldn't have grabbed it. Okay.
Yeah, actually.
Yes.
But then again, it's adding extra into circulation based on what someone puts it up for.
Yeah, but you know, you can put a cap where it's not much, 20,
Yeah.
something like that. You know, they can't only put up to so much. Or and then a person can offer to buy it and like refuse that to get that back, because if they then scratch it, they're not going to get that back.
Free money, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You put extra in
Right.
circulation.
So if somebody puts up a badass car, right? Let's say they put up a one of one to sell a contract. Now, if I'm just wanting to boost it and just drop it off, I would put up, I'll put up 40 G&E if I get reimbursed for that, blah blah blah. The person sells it, but if somebody was wanting to scratch that, they could say, look, I'll put up 50 and I have no intention of, or you can just put up 50 and have an option to not get that reimbursed because I'm going to scratch it.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just thinking.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
All right. I've got some calls to take anyway.
See you, brother.
All right, catch you around. Yeah, I want to hear Judd out because I know he loves his boosting, and it's something I spoke about with Coil and maybe Sincere. Well, I'm not trying to call Judd, I'm trying to call Dean. About bringing the contracts selling back because you now get them from racing, right? The issue before was people would just sit in queue, hog it, and then put them up for a crazy G&E price. They didn't do anything to earn that, and they would just be fucking everyone else over just because they wanted to progress, right? But now you actually have to earn the contracts through racing. It would make sense to kind of sell them on, right? With some kind of cap so you can't fuck everyone over. So the people that do want to race that aren't necessarily too interested in boosting can put one up, get some quick, easy G&E. It's nothing too crazy, and then the guys that just want to boost can just buy those and go boost. I think we should trial that first and see how it goes. That'd be good. Well, I can't read that in time, man. Lang likes his engine sound. Still getting Azerty to cook like a custom sound up so we can hear the turbos as well. And the turbo blow off. And then... and then also have the Deluxo door sound.
Could the boosting be tied to robberies? Robbery rep equals potential contracts, house robberies, jewelry, stores. It's criminal underground RP.
Yeah. I mean... I don't know, the boosting was meant to be... It is kind of racing based, right? It's around the racing RP, at least. That's what we tried to, right? Like Judge was saying, the invite only. It's kind of the same thing I did with the PM when we were experimenting with boosting, right? And I was giving people missions as the PM to steal this car or steal the F1 car. That kind of stuff, you know? Well, chopping gave you priority like racing does. The thing is, though, chopping's really easy money. So if you go from chopping to boosting, I mean, racing's easy money, right? But that's dependent on the market. Whereas chopping is just straight up easy money. And very low risk. Does anyone even get caught chopping? I don't think it even gives any calls.